All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Beyond the Rhythm podcast. I'm your host, Benito from Way Higher Music. Have my co-host here, Asia the writer. Asia, you want to say anything to the people this lovely afternoon?
What's up? Thanks for hanging out with us.
For real, for real. Welcome back, y'all. We got a special guest here tonight. A very talented individual, multi-talented individual. We bring to you the one and only Crown Vega. Welcome to the podcast. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. For real, for real. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, man, I definitely appreciate you having me. Crown Vega out of Memphis, Tennessee. Artist, writer, producer, engineer. I got, music out on all platforms right now. My album, Vega, Victors Even Get Abstracted, is streaming. I'm also a featured artist on the Cookout Mixtape 2022, which I just, got on that this year and definitely happy to be a part of that group that's doing some major things. They got an upcoming Grammy submission, so hopefully they'll get that nomination. And that's it, man. My life pretty much revolve around, the music life and all aspects, and helping other artists also, make their dream happen with the music.
That's it, man. That's wonderful. So, man, we always like to start from the beginning. Why don't you tell us, like, where did your love for music, start? Where was that foundation at for you?
Man, it really started, like as a kid. Like my grandmother reared me, and she always played music, like old Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Isaac Hayes. She cleaning up around the house playing music. And then when we would go out and into the iconic and historic Beale Street, you got plenty of blues and, some funk going on, and W.C. Handy Park, being able to see B.B. King do his thing, and a lot of other, blues musicians. And then, of course, you got the box, TV. That's where I got to, get a lot of, the rap music, and got that in me and just got hooked on that, man. But what really got me actually writing was DJ Paul, the 3 6 Mafia, man. He used to put his own solo tapes, and it was a white tape, DJ Paul 16, man. I heard that, and it was like, even though I was already into music, just hearing that and them being from my city was like, oh man, I can do this too, because they from my own hometown, and definitely connect with it. So that sparked that flame to put me into actually writing and rapping and freestyle.
Okay. Super dope, super dope. Sounds like you had a very diverse background. So how did you basically get your foot in the door? Like, what was the first breakthrough moment for you?
So really, as far as like with the recording world, so me and one of my homeboys, we skipped school like in high school and went and actually recorded our first song. And when I was in the Army, some of the guys that was in my unit, and I was at Fort Hood, and just talking to guys and just getting to know each other, telling them where we all from or whatnot. And we talked about, rapping and stuff like that. And one of the guys, Hayes, he was already doing music. And he was just asking, like, hey, bro, we finna go down to Austin and record something. You want to come with us? I'm like, well, bet. I ain't gonna turn down the opportunity. And so we shot down there, and, he just threw me on the joint, just like that. No questions asked, no riffraff. And then just so happened another guy in my unit from New York, he was a producer, and he had all this gear with him. And so once again, we out in the field, training, exercise, and just talking amongst each other. And, we get to talking about what we do and doing the music. And he was like, dude, man, I got a sampler, SP1200. And man, I made beats, man, we should do something. So, there once again, I came over and me, him, and a couple other guys, we linked up and started, we ended up recording a couple records. And since then, I just kind of been progressing, on doing that and just getting bigger and bigger with it.
Okay.
That's dope, man. Tell us a little bit more about that journey, man. Like, I know you started off, rapping in the studios when you were younger, but, where you are now, what's that path, what's that journey been like to get, to the polished person you are now?
Man, it's been ups and downs, brother. Real. Because the thing about it, man, like once I got back home, so you know, I already had that fire spark in me to actually record vocally. You know what I'm saying? Versus just being on lunch tables at school and freestyling against, you know, your classmates and stuff like that. So I always had the gift and the talent. But when I got back, a guy that I was going to as a barber, he was an artist as well. So he, you know, referred me to a studio. And so getting back home, I just kind of really started making my own little beats just to get the practice up, and then start shopping for other beats from other producers and stuff like that. But man, I actually have a full album that I recorded that I never was able to release because the producer I was going to, his studio had gotten broken into. And this before I had the knowledge of, you know, get your own hard drive and, you know, make sure, you know, once you're done recording, he put the session on your own drive. So like I have an album, really an album and a half worth of music that, you know, just MP3s and waves that, you know, I may have to recreate at some point, but, you know, it's gone. And so that was one, you know, stumbling block. And then when I got home, rap hustles kind of started taking off with Gotti, Kid Shine, his camp. Then of course you had 360 doing their thing, and also DJ Squeaky out of Memphis with Mochetta Entertainment, and all of them was signed to Relatively, and they were blowing up. So Memphis was on the spotlight for you know, for that time frame. But it was a lot of culture vultures in a sense coming into the city, you know, wanting you to pay for showcases and just taking the money and bouncing, you know, using fake sponsorships and stuff like that. So it was, I took a few lumps, man, and also was a part of a group. And the guy I was in the group with, you know, for me, it's friendly competition when you're rapping. You know, you my dude, love you like a brother, but when we get in this booth, is no holds barred. You know what I'm saying? You know, come with your best verse, because I'm coming for your head. You know, and because, you know, iron sharpens iron. Right. You know, and that's how you think it would be. But man, you know, he ended up me and him ended up parting ways. And so from there it was like, well, you know, I can stand on my own anyway as an artist. And from there, man, just from the studio getting broken into, that pushed me into, you know, learning myself how to record and to produce. I have a brother that's in Little Rock that went to school for engineering and recording technology. So he was like, bro, you can do it yourself, man. You know, he kind of got me started. And from the little gems that he gave me, I just expanded on it and really just took it head on. And from doing that, was able to actually end up, you know, getting other clients just for hearing my music and the quality of it. Because, you know, when I present my music, you know, a lot of people hear, man, you know, you're local artists or you coming up, they're thinking, oh, it's gonna sound trash, the mix gonna be off, it's gonna sound like you just recorded in the bathroom. Nah, when you hear my music, it's like, dude, who you signed to? Or how long you been doing this? You know, and you set yourself up against the competition you're looking at, you know, and I see myself, I want to be a major. So that's what I want, that's what the sound I went for.
Definitely.
Okay. So you mentioned the Army. So tell me, how do you balance, I guess, serving your country and making music and being as good as you are at it?
Well, the good thing about the Army is, hey, it provides you the money to fund what you want to do in life. But I mean, aside from that, you know, it's taking advantage of your downtime. You know, of course, that's a full-time job in itself, and you know, that's the obligation that you and commitment that you signed up for. But you still have a passion, and it's so many that I know that have dreams and passions, and they let life kind of steer them away from it, and they don't even continue to pursue it, or you know, they'll let people's opinion, you know, kind of steer them away from it. When for me, it kind of fueled the fire. You know, you tell me I shouldn't be doing it, give me some negative feedback, it's just gonna make me go even harder to show you that, nah, dude, this is what I do. And I mean, and just putting the time in is what, you know, gets you the skill if you're willing to learn and grow. You know, you do have those that put the time in and they don't progress or grow at all, or, you know, they just don't really want to take the feedback or, you know, take consideration. Or, dude, you just suck, man. It's not your thing. You know, if you have a passion for music, find another avenue where you can still be a part of the music. It may not be rapping. You may be producing. It may be engineering. You know, you may be good with the business. You know, to still have some way of contributing to the culture.
Yeah, we see a lot of people in the music industry who have done that, man. Like even L.A. Reid, you know, I was listening to him recently, and you know, it was obvious that like his passion changed, and he took more of the business route, and you know, he really successful on the business route now. So I definitely understand what you're saying. I wanted to switch a little bit over to the production side, man. Why don't you let us know a little bit about how you produce, and maybe like some of your favorite instruments, hardware, software, stuff like that?
Man, so for me, I don't produce a lot as far as when it comes to the beat making side of it. I mean, I have my moments where I get in the lab and I just kind of cook up, or I just wake up out the blue with an idea and I just go into it. I got a song with a Project Pat and Steve-O that's here out of Memphis called North North. And it was crazy. And what it was, like the day before, I actually, there was an event we had where, rest in peace, Snooty Wild, he first had his break. And he performed at this event. And just the energy from the event and just his performance, the energy of the room, everybody in there, just inspired me. And I woke up the next day, cooked up the track, the hook, and you know, it was just like, you know, out of thin air, just still coming up off of that high of being at the event, and then also myself performing that night and just getting a lot of great feedback. But like for me primarily, I actually track and do everything out of Pro Tools. You know, some use Fruity Loops or Logic, or you know, it's other, you know, DAWs out there, but I primarily track out of Pro Tools. And I have a Roland G6 that I've had for years, and it's still the test of time with me. And you know, that's what I use as not just to play the keys, you know, kind of make my way through chords, because I'm not really trained. I know enough theory to get through, you know, playing chords and keys and stuff like that for my production. And then of course with the different VSTs like Nexus, for instance, or Omnisphere, and then just different program drums that I use as well.
Feel that, man. The state.
So being multi-talented, I guess an artist, producer, engineer, all of that, what would you say you put first? Like, what is your priority?
My priority is the pen, rapping. It's like, and it's crazy because even with my business sense, I got a friend of mine that I met when I was actually visiting a studio here in Memphis. At the time it was called the Trap House. And me and him, whenever he would see me, I was going to actually just pick up music because I was recording, you know, out of my own space. And I just, you know, be there, you know, vibing and checking out the scene and kind of, you know, getting that energy and the feel for what's going on. And he and I would talk, and we always talk business. So he actually didn't even know that I was an artist. He thought I was a manager or, you know, on the business side for somebody, until one day we was riding around and I was playing some of my music. He was like, dude, what's that? I'm like, oh man, that's me. That's the album I'm working on. He's like, what? You rap? I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, bro, I didn't know that. You know, I thought you was a manager, or, you know, had somebody he was working with or doing admin or something like that, because that's all we talked about. You know, it was never about the music, you know. So it's definitely rapping for me, being an artist, because I mean, he's even talked to me consistently about not being an artist and just do the business side. But then what definitely has brought me a lot of revenue has been the engineering side. Okay. Because with me putting my all into my own music and other artists hearing it, and then producers that I work with, you know, hearing what I've done with their beats and, you know, the song, you know, any clients that they have just looking for a good, safe space to record where they don't have to worry about, you know, folks up the street coming in the studio, or just a good environment where they can be comfortable. They're referring to me, and hearing that quality in my music, you know, they get that. So that definitely is what I do what I've been doing a lot more until recently, since I've been a part of the Cookout family. Whereas I've been able to, it's been, reigniting that fuel to write and record, new music.
Thanks. Gotcha.
Okay. Awesome.
Great, man. Great. How do you get inspired, man? Like when you hear that track, you put it on, is inspiration always there? You have to go find it. How does that work for you?
Man, my process is I still don't understand it myself, bro. It's like, it depends, it's really different at times, but for tracks that I have, like I listen to different tracks throughout the day, or it could be a few weeks and I have one that I'm really sitting on, and I could be listening to a track. However, I come up with an idea for a track that I was playing like 2-3 days ago, off of listening to something else totally different.
Okay.
And so once it hit me, in the blue, it's like, oh man, let's go with that track. And so I go ahead and pin it down, the hook. And once I get the hook, then I go back to that track, pull it up, and get the working on that. And once the chorus done, so now I have my topic. Now I can zone in on getting my verses done and getting the song complete and the arrangement and all of that stuff. And then sometimes it just I come up with one-liners every now and then. So on my phone, I just have a note with just random lines, and so I just jot them down. And depending on what topic or how I'm feeling, I go to that note and kind of see what I can use, and go from there and just build up off of it.
That's cool.
That's dope. It's always cool to see how every artist or creative has their like different ways of inspiration. So very cool.
Definitely.
Can you talk to us about what you're working on now, or what you're working on, for the future?
Man, I'm working on a lot of stuff. So not even just for me. I got artist Shank here out of Memphis. I'm engineering his project. He's doing some new recording. I got Archangel. I've been recording for him. Actually, well, no, I'm done with him, but he will be releasing his project coming up Thanksgiving. Music, man, you saw it coming. Definitely looking forward to it being out and just everybody just being able to take it in. Been working with this other local artist, R&B artist, Trina Michelle, super dope vocalist. Finishing up her project. I got Trez Clay. He's also an R&B singer here out of Memphis. Finishing him up. Getting in the middle of his project, just getting his stuff mixed and so we can get everything mastered. And then for myself, I'm working on my next album. Well, actually, I'm just recording, so it's gonna probably end up being 2 separate projects. But my main concept album is Concrete, Life, Death, and Taxes. For concrete being that life, death, and taxes are 3 things that's for certain in life. If you're living, you're gonna die, and while you're here, you gotta pay tax.
You want to be free at least.
Yeah, well, man, and the thing about it with the taxes part, it's not even just monetary. Taxes could be the life lessons you learn. Or the lumps you take. Going throughout life. That's your way of paying tax, paying back. You know what I'm saying? And just so it's gonna encompass and this album is definitely gonna be different from my previous project, V.E.G.A. Because this actually, the title Concrete was supposed to be my first album, but when I was going through the songs, it didn't fit. So that's why I ended up going with the album title for V.E.G.A. Victors Even Get Abstracted. And now I'm actually committing to this project for the Concrete album. And then I've been recording with the Cookout family. So I met them on Clubhouse, and they have a room, no egos, networking, music, film, TV, and radio. And I was, I was on the early Cookout Clubhouse days and got back on it after a little break, and just came across the room and just kept hearing them talking about the Cookout and how the last one was. And so the guy Botts was just talking about it, producer Davion Botts of Bottzworld Studios. He was talking about the event, and so I went to his page, his Instagram, and checked out his website, and then looked into the event and was like, oh yeah, I have to be a part of this for what they're doing. It's independent artists, and being here in Memphis with the artists I've run into, they really, it's always, hey man, let's get together and do something. Well, it's more so they want me to make them a part of my project. However, when it's time for them to put something out, I don't hear from them. It's cricket, and that's even, and it's like I got a full studio where I mix and everything. If anything, you can come and record, but but everybody have they do what they want to do, or they see, what I got going, and they want to jump in and kind of ride their wave or whatever. But I take it as it is. But so I saw with the Cookout, it was something different. They're actually coming together, collaborating, and making great music. So it was like I had to be a part of it. So I'm a featured artist on their mixtape, and then they have an upcoming album, which I've been consistently going to the different cookouts and looking to be a part of that. And I'll be releasing my single once they start promoting the actual album next year.
Cool. Let us know about that, man, so we can put it out to our fans as well.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Definitely, no doubt.
Cool. So we like to switch it up a little bit here towards the end and ask some different questions just to let the people know a little bit more about you. So if you could pick 5 artists to work with, who would they be?
Man, so my 5 would be Nas, Rakim, Ludacris, Outkast as 2 separate, 3 Stacks and Big Boy. And I had to also add Cardi B.
Okay.
Yeah.
You definitely know your music, man. That's some great selections.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Yeah, man.
So what about favorite albums of all time?
Okay, so my number 1 is Pop, All Eyes on Me. With that project, it's so many songs on that album that actually I connect with on different parts of my life, and so, in all honesty, man, to be real about it, like shit, sometimes I listen to it, I get a little emotional on some of the records just because of experiences that I've had, whether it's, folks are lost or just get thinking about, good past times and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's one of my joints. Nas, Illmatic. Like, I'm a big Nas fan. That's my dude. Like, I mess with Nas tough, man. So yeah, Nas, Illmatic. Ludacris, Release Therapy. One of my favorite albums. I'm definitely a big Luda fan, and with my music and my delivery and my flow, you can kind of get that, he is somewhat of an inspiration as well. Twister, Adrenaline Rush, also one of my favorite albums. And like all these, man, I can play start to finish, and just let it ride. U.G.K. Riding Dirty. And then I know you said 5, but I had to add one more.
That's all right.
It's my Memphis own, man. Kingpin Skinny Pimp. His album, King of the Players Ball. Bro, I mean, it's a beast. At the time, he was signed to 3 6 Mafia. And dude, just that project, like with the samples and the songs and the music, like it's that raw Memphis. Okay. And dude, like he got one record, man, it don't matter when they play it in the club, it goes stupid, bro. Yeah, man.
I feel that.
Yeah, so.
All right, I like that. So I'm wondering, what's something about you or your work that your fans might not know, or people close to you might not know, when it comes to you?
Man, well, that a lot of times I'm real skeptical on how my music is gonna be perceived. Mm. I do set myself, I mean, no one's perfect. However, I want it to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And my music is my baby. But sometimes just how people gonna really, accept it or think about it. It is a little insecure about that. It's a little touchy, but because that's your work and you putting it out to the world, and you do want it to be received by everybody. However, everybody ain't gonna like everything you do though.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I can relate, and I feel like a lot of artists can relate to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's see here. So background, well, I guess hobbies outside of music. Like, tell the folks a little bit about how do you get away and kind of like relieve the stress and just clear your mind from music time to time.
Man, so one, I'm a gym junkie, man. You can find me in the gym, hitting the iron, man, working out
I
regularly.
couldn't.
If you didn't notice, the
Yeah, he got
shoulders,
me envious over here, man. I'm like, I gotta hit the gym and get them Dwight Howard shoulders too.
Hey man, hey dude, yeah man. It's fun and it's crazy though, cause some folks ask if I compete, anything or what you training for. I'm like, nah, man, I just love working out, cause it does help. Cause you have to focus on what you're doing, and you kind of shut the world out. Get the noise, the outside noise out, and you kind of zone in on what you're doing, man. And at the same time, if you got music going, do whatever you're listening to. Hopefully, it'll help you, put you in that zone to get through. And then once you're done, man, any anger or stress or strife, hopefully, you worked it off. So that, I run. Every now and then, I go to the gun range. I got a few toys I, like to play with since Brown's down. So I do that too as well. And traveling, I have quite a few Army associates that I'm still in touch with. So it give me a reason to, go to a different city and be a tourist for a day and, link up with my guys and kind of just, kick shit and catch up. And so that's what I do, man, just to kind of get the stress off.
Feel that. It's great, man.
Yeah. What else we got?
Our last question that we usually ask everybody.
Okay.
So this is you can answer it any kind of way you want, but we usually ask folks, like, if you could pick one person to kind of step in their shoes and see what they do for a day, who would that person be?
So for me, I was like with being a creative myself and me having a little ink, man, I say a tattoo artist, man. It's a few cats I follow, man. Nico Rusin, Jose Contreras, he's in LA now. And man, just their work. But the thing about it, man, they're so great at it, and people pay them for what they do and their style. So you get to do, it's your style, and it's unique to you. And, people come to you for your work, and at the same time, this is something they're going to be wearing for the rest of their life, and displaying it. And to just be in that world where you're really in control. You're the one in control, unless you got a client that, that might faint on you or something like that. But, you can't control how they're going to, their pain tolerance. However, at the same time, it's your craft, it's your skill, and you have people coming to you for what you do. And it's just, they just seem to have all the freedom in the world, man.
Yeah. Man.
Wow, that's an interesting response. That's definitely one outside the box we haven't gotten. So
I'm glad to give you something different then.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything else you like the audience to know before we wrap up?
Man, what do I want them to know? Well, be on the lookout for Crown Vega. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter. Got a TikTok. I got to get it figured out though. Yeah, I'm on Facebook as well. Everything is Crown Vega. Also, I have my website, crownvega.com, for any upcoming news on new music. Old music is out as well. I'm on all streaming platforms. The album Vega, Victors Even Get Abstracted, is out. I have a single, North North, and I'm on the Cookout Mixtape 2022, and we'll be on the upcoming album. Also, my guy Archangel album is coming out. Music, man, you saw it coming. He already has Windows streaming on all platforms, as well as 6 and 1. So with the album Music, all the songs are titled by Roman numerals. So,
okay.
But yeah, so every song title is actually a Roman numeral. So 6 and 1 are already out, and they both crazy. And like I say, just be on the lookout for some new music, and from me as well as the artists I support, man. And that's it, man. And for everybody that has a dream and a passion, make time for it. You know, I know life can, you know, the stresses of life can get you, and you get caught up in the work and the rat race and trying to pay the bills. But man, make time for what you love and what's in your heart. That's really what keeps you young.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. We appreciate that. So everybody, I think we're gonna wrap up for the night. Crown Vega, once again, we want to thank you, man, for being a part of this. Give you a round of applause, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Definitely, man. We look forward to big things from you in the future, man. So take care. Let us know if we can help in any way. And once again, thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, bet.
Cool. So we want to tell everybody good night. Thanks for joining again, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.